My views on Hillary Clinton and George Soros getting the Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. And Elon Musk condemns George Soros for funding Hamas supporting NGOs and said that the latter's hatred of humanity includes Israel. What are my thoughts? So, we are right now witnessing a transition in US geopolitics. A transition, first of all, I think we all understand that there is some extra governmental, extra democratic power center that exists in the US, and they have been the guys who have been running the nation the past 4 years. Because the past 4 years, you had one person who was mentally not there, Joe Biden, too elderly to function normally, and you had Kamala Harris, who doesn't have the IQ required to be a vice president or a stand-in president. So neither the president or nor the vice president were capable of leading the nation, but somebody was running the nation. So it becomes very clear that the US doesn't need a president. There's somebody running the nation at all times. And that's obviously the so-called deep state or whatever you want to call it. So I think it's it's completely perfectly clear beyond any doubt that this situation does exist in the US. Now, so the deep state, they essentially control the US, and they control all the US vassals, and they control more than half the world. If it does exist, it looks very clear that it does exist. And they interfere in various nations, including their allies, including their enemies. They interfere in the affairs of every nation through various proxies. And so one of these proxies has been George Soros. I'll not go into his life and career and all that, but he has been a very destructive influence on various economies. He's destroyed economies of entire nations, and he runs all these so-called philanthropic organizations and all that interfere in the internal affairs of nations. And he's in his 90s now. His son is essentially taking over, and it is in recognition of a lifetime of service that he was given this honor by the deep state through the hands of Joe Biden. And now that his job is done and he's too old, he's going to be set aside, and his son may be allowed to run the show. But I think the focus will now be on other things. So they will not entirely dispense with the Soros gang, but they have new tools in the toolbox, the deep state. And so that's what we are seeing. We are seeing this transition right now. So they're thanking the old guard, Hillary Clinton, George Soros. Thank you for a job well done. Thank you for a lifetime of service. Now sit down, and if needed, we'll call upon you. But right now we are kind of in cold storage, and now we have new toys and new tools to fight with. So that's why you see the new tool, Elon Musk, condemning George Soros. Right? So that's what we are witnessing. Look, Elon Musk is the new face of the deep state. Okay? Great guy. He has achieved so much. Very, very smart guy. He probably could end up being more powerful than the US president, even though he can't be the US president. Of course, if Trump annexes Canada, then Elon Musk will probably become a natural born US citizen, because or could perhaps be that way. If he's a Canadian citizen and then he became a US citizen, there could be some pathway for him to become US president. But but Elon Musk has played a great game. He's become the richest man in the world, maybe the most powerful man, maybe after or before the US president, we don't know. But yeah, and you cannot achieve that without being completely 100% aligned with the objectives and agenda of the deep state.